Top 10 Unusual Cars. We see cars everywhere, on the highway, on the street, and even in our driveways. As our main means of transportation, cars have become the wheels through which many of us explore the world. But every now and then, a car designer will come up with something crazy that will leave you wondering, hey, is that car even supposed to be on the road? Hello and welcome back to Top Tech. On this channel, we investigate the hidden technological processes that make modern life possible. Today, we'll take a look at some of the nuttiest cars in the world. From a car that floats on water to an upside-down truck, here are some of the most unusual cars that will inspire you to get up from your couch and give your Prius a new makeover. But before we get started, you know the drill, Top Techers. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell too. It truly does help with the YouTube algorithm and allows us to make more awesome content like this for your viewing pleasure. Number 10. Terrafugia Transition. We kick things off with this peculiar creation right here, known as the Terrafuega Transition. So, we bet you've watched movies where cars transform into planes, right? And thought, man, I wish I had something like that. Well, prepare to be blown away by the Terrafuega Transition concept car, which brings all your aviation dreams to life. This two-seater capacity carplane is ideal for you and your better half to take to the skies, without all the hassle of the long airport lines. Worried that you might need a hangar for storage? The Terrafuega is small enough to fit into your regular home garage. Plus, it runs on automotive gas, not jet fuel. Currently, there are 2 Terrafuega cars that have been ordered, with each of them costing $279,000. But this begs the question, do you have to have a pilot's license to take this awesome carplane to the skies? We're just asking for a friend.
We don't need anyone else.
Number 9. Bond Bug. You might think that this Bond Bug was used in one of those 007 blockbusters in the mid-20th century, but that is not the case. This minicar was actually created by Reliant, a company well known for its 3-wheeled vehicles. In fact, this car concept was developed as a fun experiment for motorcyclists and young people to try it out. Because you didn't need to have a driver's license to get behind one of these weird bugs. Made in the 70s, this 3-wheeler vehicle had a distinct aerodynamic wedge shape, complete with an aircraft-style lifting canopy, high-tech black graphics, as well as aircraft-style instruction decals to indicate vital information of the car, including the tire pressure. Only available in bright tangerine orange, the Bond Bug was a head-turner wherever it went. But in reality, the Bond Bug is actually a motorcycle. And this was one of the reasons why it is any motor show. Nevertheless, the Bond Bug was quite popular thanks to its unique body design, joined back-to-back and viewed as a 4-wheeler. And despite its relatively short production in the 70s, it still has a dedicated following to this day. Number 8. Messerschmitt KR200. Hailing from the land of precision, this German Kabinenroller is quite the odd looker in more ways than one. Indeed, this 3-wheeled bubble car is reserved for 2 people. One person sits at the front as the driver, while the other sits at the back as the passenger. The car was produced from 1955 to 1964, with more than 40,000 units sold. And here's an interesting fact. Did you know that the Messerschmitt KR200 currently holds the speed record for the fastest 3-wheeled vehicle in the world? It's clocked in at 103 kilometers per hour. The vehicle was designed by an aircraft engineer by the name Fritz Fend, and you can clearly see plenty of his influences on the car. Yes, the car was manufactured in the mid-50s and early 60s, at a time when most automobile manufacturers also dabbled in planes. So, if you mistake the KR200 for a plane, you're not the only one. Number 7. Maybach Exelero. Can you imagine that it's been more than 15 years since the Maybach Exelero, or popularly known as the Batmobile, first debuted in 2005? Wow, time really flies. But some things remain unchanged, such as the car's mind-blowing performance indicators. Yes, the Exelero was first commissioned by Fulda, a tire conglomerate of the Goodyear Group. The firm wanted to test its new Carrot Accelero tire family. It therefore approached Daimler and requested them to build a prototype that could reach speeds of up to 217 miles an hour. The concept was based on the production of Maybach 57, and the final design was finished off by the Pforzheim University of Applied Sciences. But enough about that. One of the most exciting things about the Exelero is its uncanny resemblance to the Batmobile. Perhaps one of the creative designers working on the car concept was inspired by the 1997 Batman cartoon series. It certainly seems that way. Number 6. Oeuf Electrique. In 1942, World War II ravaged Europe as Germany invaded France. With the ongoing war, France experienced numerous petrol shortages, meaning that horses and carts were used to deliver goods. It was a dark time for automakers in France. Seeing all the misfortunes around, one French automotive engineer by the name of Arsens decided to create a vehicle that did not function on petrol, rather relied on electricity. Yes, this small vehicle would run on electric batteries. The vehicle was later known as the Oeuf Electrique, and it was shaped like an egg with an aluminum and plexiglass body that offered great visibility during the drive. The Oeuf Electrique even stood out more because of the three-wheel setup it had. Unfortunately, due to the rarity of aluminum at the time, only one prototype was designed. Number 5. Upside-down truck. How invested are you in pimping out your car? Well, if you're like Rick Sullivan, you won't wince at the thought of spending 6 months and $6,000 building an amazing truck from the spare parts of 2 different vehicles. Yes, this upside-down truck was made from the parts of a 1991 Ford Ranger pickup and a 1995 F-150 pickup body that was placed, well, upside down. Rick had designed it to look like a red and white Ford pickup truck knocked onto its roof, and complete with everything from spinning tires and a license plate that jokingly reads, "Flip over." Rick, who runs a collision center in Clinton, Illinois, together with his wife Kathy, got the idea to build the car after he was called in to transport an overturned Ford Ranger to his body shop. When Rick came across the Ford with the 4 wheels sticking up in the air, he thought it looked pretty awesome and vowed he would do something of the sort. So, Rick began collecting parts from the Ford F-150 by visiting different car repair shops and collecting any unwanted parts. He then bought a complete 91 Ford Ranger, tore the body off before placing the F-150 upside down onto the 91 Ford Ranger. Rick admits he had a lot of fun making the adjustments, and luckily it turned out exactly how he had envisioned it in his dream. He does admit that people are amazed at the vehicle, being that it is one of those things that sparks a conversation once he gets off his vehicle. Number 4. 1967 Fiat Multipa. This lovely version of a family van was first registered in Florence on the 21st of February 1967 and still proudly wears the original Italian number plates it first had. According to history, this particular Fiat Multipa remained with the buyer's first family well into the 80s, after which it passed through the hands of 4 Italian owners before eventually being imported to Switzerland in 2015. A few years ago, this specific model you see here was repainted to give it a fresher feel, and the seats were retrimmed to give the vehicle the correct vinyl. Tiny but brilliant, its disappearing foldable seats provide enough room for up to 6 individuals. Well, Fiat is still in very good condition, despite all its years of servitude. You go, old champ. Number 3. Citicar. When was the first battery electric vehicle made available for commercial sale in the US? Well, let's take you back to 1975, when the Vanguard Sebring Citicar was first offered to the public. It was not the prettiest car to say the least, and the vehicle received criticism for its limited safety features. In fact, the first model of the Citicar only produced about 3.5 horsepower, which is roughly the same power as a lawnmower. But it had a pretty decent range for its time, about 40 miles. Later models of the car were then upgraded to 6 horsepower and could reach a top speed of 45 miles per hour. Number 2. Amphicar Model 770. Let's be honest, can you imagine a better way to spend your Saturday afternoon rather than driving the Amphicar Model 770? Yes, this particular vehicle was designed in the 1950s and launched in 1961 at a car show in the United States. Light years ahead of its time, it proved revolutionary in that it gave a slight shimmer of hope to what the future might look like. Powered by 2 reversible propellers and a 1,147cc Triumph engine, the Amphicar had a 4-speed manual transmission and weighed a massive 2.5 tons. This vehicle was clearly a boat from the get-go. Being years ahead of its time and the technology in place, the performance metrics weren't that great, and there were less than 4,000 units of this vehicle produced. Nevertheless, driving this car boat seemed like quite the adventure. Unless a 3-feet wave comes crashing towards you. Yikes. Number 1. General Motors Firebird 111. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a Firebird 111. In the 1950s, General Motors was inspired by the world of aviation to manufacture vehicles whose designs had a lot in common with different fighter jets of the world. The cars were powered by the same massive gas turbine engines that propelled fighter jets of that era. Unfortunately, this made the cars very unstable due to the high power and difficulty in testing. Today, some of these cars are so rare that they never go up for auction or sale. That being said, it would be a treat to have one of these babies right here in your garage. We bet the Jetsons would be the first auctioneers on your doorstep. And that's all she wrote, folks. So, which of these weird cars would you drive just to get heads turning your way? Let us know in the comments section down below. Once again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video.